There's a political truce in Malaysia after months of instability. Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob and the opposition Pakatan Harapan have signed a cooperation pact aimed at ensuring stability through the pandemic. The deal also means Malaysia won't face a general election for at least another year. Live to Melissa Go in a moment, but first, a look at today's proceedings.
After months of politicking, Malaysian lawmakers have returned to Parliament for the first time under Prime Minister Ismail Sabri's government. Starting off proceedings, the King led a minute of silence before lawmakers recited a prayer for the thousands who have died of COVID-19 in the country. The Sultan has called for efforts to be stepped up to combat the pandemic. He's welcomed a pact by the opposition and the ruling coalition that will mean Pakatan Harapan's MPs will not oppose the Prime Minister in votes that will test his majority.
Di sini beta turut menyambut baik dan amat menghargai usaha-usaha ke arah merealisasikan pendekatan baharu kerjasama dua partisan antara semua pihak yang bakal membentuk lanskap politik baharu dan membawa perubahan dalam sistem pentadbiran negara. Kematangan seperti inilah yang didambakan oleh seluruh rakyat beta.
The King has also thrown down the gauntlet. He says the new government must prove its worth within 100 days. The parliamentary session over the next 2 weeks is seen as a test of the new Prime Minister's support. Ismail Sabri is Malaysia's third Prime Minister in as many years.
Melissa Go joins us live now for more from Kuala Lumpur. Mel, finally a truce after many months of infighting. What will this pact entail, though?
Well, it was hailed as historic, nevertheless, the MOU, which was signed between the government and the opposition Pakatan Harapan bloc in a bid to bring about the much-needed political stability in order to better manage the pandemic and revive the economy. Now, Malaysia has already seen 3 prime ministers in the last 3 years or so since 2018 general election, and that has to end. Both sides agreed that the country can't be dragged further into political turmoil, and to that end, no elections will be held before August next year, at least till the country recovers. Now, in return, the government is said to have agreed to add another 45 billion ringgit, that's about $10 billion into the COVID-19 fund to help the people and businesses. Borrowers from the bottom 50% of the households will be exempted from paying interest for 3 months on top of the loan moratorium. There were some of the opposition's demands. Now, these are them. With Prime Minister Ismail Sabri is said to have agreed finally in order to achieve the ceasefire. Now, apart from that, the MOU also entails transformation in 6 key areas, including the institution and parliamentary reforms, as well as ensuring judiciary independence. Also included is the Malaysia Agreement 1963 that's been a long-standing issue between the federal and the East Malaysian state of Sabah and Sarawak. And much focus also has been on the formation of a steering committee, which will be interesting to see who's going to be on it, its composition and terms of reference and so on, because there are already so many committees and task force formed on COVID-19. And former Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin himself is chairing the National Recovery Council. So is there going to be overlap and conflicts now? Opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim, according to a source involved in the MOU, will be accorded the ministerial status. Now, details of the MOU, the Prime Minister's office said, will be released through the Parliament website by tomorrow morning.
So, Mel, plenty of good intentions, but is there confidence that it will last long enough to actually ensure stability?
Well, Dawn, the proof is always in the pudding, right? The Parliament sits tomorrow and we'll see how MPs from both sides of the aisle behave. Among the first order of business is selecting the Deputy Speaker. Now, how lasting this bipartisan cooperation will depend how soon Prime Minister Ismail Sabri can deliver on some of the promised reforms within the first 100 days in office. Now, it won't be easy, analysts say, but forging an MOU with the opposition is an insurance for him in order that in case any MPs, from his ruling alliance decided to turn rogue, Prime Minister Ismail, is ruling with a slim majority, he has to tread carefully. Now, to balance the different interests within his own party, UMNO, and the so-called court cluster is not easy, and also Bersatulah Perikatan Nasional that claim to have the largest bloc 50-odd MPs. Its leader, former Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin, over the weekend announced that he will contest in the next general election and lead Pakatan Nasional to make a comeback. Now, the opposition are not convinced either. Some of them I spoke with because they weren't involved in the negotiation process of this as MOU. Now, Shafi Abdal, the president of Barisan Nasional, said this. Let's listen in.
If it is for the good of the country, the good of the people, why not? But we don't want that to be seen as if that is another endorsement of the current government just because you have gave us certain amount of money, for our locations, for example, like confidence and supply, and then we need to succumb to whatever the demand coming from the government. Election is coming very soon. It's not going to be long, either next year or whenever it is. So it's just around the corner. So I believe that if we even succumb to whatever, I'm very worried and concerned, the public and the people might punish us through the ballot box.
The next election, Don, is not due till year 2023. And Prime Minister Ismail Sabri knows that he has to tread carefully. It's a delicate balance that he is managing. And he knows that he needs to keep his friends close and his enemies closer.
He certainly does. Mel, thank you very much for that. Melissa Go there reporting from Kuala Lumpur.